Native American Women, Leadership, Activism, and Feminism, written by Wilson Bellacoola, narrated by Don T. Bai. Chapter 1. Introduction. Native American Women and Feminism. In fulfilling their traditional roles as leaders in their communities, American Indian women are often at the core of American Indian resistance and struggle for liberation. Native women have a long history of assuming leadership positions within their particular tribes. Their struggles share many of the characteristics of women's struggles associated with feminism in the larger society. Yet many Native American women explicitly reject the label of feminism. This book will explore the reasons some Native women do embrace feminism and why others do not. Through an analysis of literature, cross-cultural research, and in-depth narrative interviews, I will examine feminism and its compatibility with Native American female resistance. My framework is critical. It takes into account the historical oppression of Native peoples, as well as the relative exclusion of Native women in the existing feminist research. This book explores the extent to which the women interviewed embraced a feminist worldview. What became apparent upon interviewing Native women activists for this book was the long history of leadership by women within Native American tribes, and in differing degrees, how Native women embrace traditional worldviews about the place of women in Native and European society. What is very apparent from both the existing literature by Native American women as well as the interviews conducted with Native American women is that, despite their more central position in their societies, the Native women interviewed tend not to view themselves as feminists. An important anthem running through the interviews and apparent from the literature reviewed was, even though Native women in general do not have equality of opportunity within larger American society in terms of economic resources, employment, education, healthcare, etc., and in many cases are solely responsible for the survival of their families, Native women do not view their struggles for more power within their communities and the larger society as being incompatible with the primacy of home and family. Ingrid Washinewatok Elisa, a member of the Indigenous Women's Network, says, "A few years ago, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine at a women's conference, and I was so taken aback that women were complaining about how they didn't want to sit home and take care of the kids. That made me sad, because I know how important a role that is. I don't have a problem at all with that responsibility. I'm sorry if your men or other people in your lives make you feel like being a mother is something that is not worthy. I don't necessarily understand the feeling of being fulfilled as a chief executive officer, but I have an insight into it. The raising of children is looked upon as something that isn't important, yet the future depends on it, and the world depends on it." It became clear from the interviews that even when Native women do engage in activism directed toward bringing attention to male dominance within their communities, struggles quickly labeled feminist, they still do not label their actions as such. The Native American women that were interviewed, for the most part, did not define their activism in terms of specifically women's issues or women's struggles, but rather as Native American struggles. Many women pointed out that Native people struggle together for survival, and issues of women and men cannot be separated. These themes are also reinforced within the literature. Margot Thunderbird, a Shinnecock, articulates, "In our struggle, there are not necessarily dividing lines between women's issues and men's issues. We are all struggling to survive as nations, as communities, as societies. Bringing our societies from the past, maintaining those connections into the future, and being the bridge to the next 7 generations is a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?